To make your fill more realistic, pull out that hi-hat. Create a linear pattern or a linear fill that a drummer can actually play. So one kick drum part and a right and left sticking part. Just don't have more than two things at the same time, minus the kick drum, because the drummer only has two hands.
Fill theory. It's all about tension and release, setting up the next part of your arrangement. It doesn't have to just be drums. It could be your basses, your synths, your vocals. You set up the end of the 4 bars into the next part of the arrangement.
All right, here's a tutorial on adding fills and color right before each part. And I really can't stress this enough. This is a huge thing with arrangement and setting up choruses, setting up drops, setting up verses, setting up the vocals when they come in, is the fills. And the fills could be toms, snares, snare roll, or it could be nothing. The beat just pulls out. This song has a lot of different parts. Marshmello, Youngblood, Remix has a lot of different vocal parts, so it requires kind of a lot of different setups and things. Okay, so it builds and builds and builds, and then nothing.
Every morning I ride.
And now it's just the riff and the vocals. Every single part builds. So now the hi-hat part is adding chugga chugga chugga. So the fill sets up the musical part here. This part right here, this half bar, I've set that part up as opposed to doing a fill right here. So it's like the fill sets up the fill kind of. This is a musical fill. And then nothing right into the chorus. So we create a lot of tension here, and then absolutely nothing, and then the release of the chorus. Let's hear that. All right, and then the build. So this is the chorus, and the chorus is in the build, and this is a huge arrangement thing here. So building up the tension of the chorus, and then into the drop. Okay, here's the build. Some claps, building claps. And the snare builds. See all this automation here? The snare is 2 different snares here. There's that one, and then there's this one. Right? And this one. So 2 different snares on this multi-dynamic snare here that's inside my Ableton pack. And then toms are on top of it too. So this is not possible for a real drummer to do. And a lot of times I won't create a fill that is impossible for a drummer to do, meaning hi-hats, snares, and toms all playing at the same time. That's impossible for a drummer to do. To make your fill more realistic, pull out that hi-hat, create a linear pattern or a linear fill that a drummer can actually play. So one kick drum part and a right and left sticking part. Just don't have more than 2 things at the same time, minus the kick drum, because the drummer only has 2 hands. Toms, I mean, technically, maybe. So, okay, so those are flams. Those require 2 hands, and here's the other hand. So it's the 3 hand. But this is a build. Like, builds have all kinds of things. Builds have reverse cymbals. They have tons of different stuff. Rolls on top of rolls on top of rolls. So in the build area, it's okay to have a lot of different drums on top of each other, but the fills, keep them linear so a drummer can really do them. Because most of the time when a band is playing an arrangement like this, the build is probably going to be on the backing track. Or it's going to be very simplistic if it's just a 4-piece band or something like that playing, because the drummer has only so many hands. Here's the drop. And the beat changes slightly, and then after 4 bars, just a real quick fill. Da-da-doo-doo. Classic right there. Da-da-doo-doo. Da-da-doo-doo. Right there.